of our freedoms, our very, very precious freedoms, something we can never take for granted. We can never betray what our forefathers fought so valiantly for.
Yes.
We stand together with people all over the world in our fight to preserve our cultures, our way of life, our Judeo-Christian heritage, which is what our wonderful country was founded upon. And who just is Pegida Canada? What is Pegida Canada? We are a patriotic grassroots movement inspired by the Pegida movement in Dresden, Germany. What is our mandate? Our position? These are our 10 positions. Pegida is for the admission of genuine war refugees and political refugees, or those who suffer religious persecution. Pegida is for the integration of refugees into our land and culture. Pegida is for the utilization and implementation of existing laws on asylum and deportation. Pegida is for a zero-tolerance policy against delinquent asylum seekers and migrants. Pegida is for resistance to misogyny and violent political ideology. Pegida is for the preservation and protecting of our Christian Judeo-based culture. Pegida is against arms sales to unconstitutional, illegal, or terrorist organizations. Pegida is against allowing a parallel society in our midst, such as Sharia law, Sharia police. Pegida is against radicalism, whether religious or politically motivated. And Pegida is against preachers of hate, no matter what religion you belong to. Now, some people say we are preachers of hate because of our concerns about Islam. We are not preachers of hate. We simply voice our concerns. We don't hate Muslims. We are concerned about Islam. We battle Islam. We know that it's difficult because we still have so much freedom here in Canada. But more and more it is being eroded. And now we have the additional worry of the migrant crisis. People clamoring for Canada to open wide its borders. People not being aware or not wanting to be aware of the influx of jihadi through this mass exodus out of war-torn Middle Eastern countries. This whole issue has complicated things immensely, but we will not let it distract us from our purpose, our concern, which is the Islamization of our Western cultures. Even now, we are warned by ISIS that attacks are imminent. Worldwide, people are wondering when the next attack will come. How many will be killed? This is an attack on our freedom, our safety, our peace of mind. Our culture here is the best culture there is. Think about what we have here. We have freedom of choice. We can choose our government. We can choose our faith. We can choose our job, our partner. Our culture gives freedom of choice. Do we want that to change? Do you want to lose your voice? If anyone is in doubt of the insidious nature of Islam, please look to Europe. 50 years ago, Europe was a very different place. A place of different cultures, different traditions, different countries, each unique and special. Canada welcomed people from Europe looking for a change, a new life. And on the whole, we have lived together in peace and respect. This is beginning to change. A certain group of people people are beginning to insist that their way is the only way. In Europe, it is rampant. The politicians look away. The academics look away. The academics look away. They don't want to see. We see. Pegida sees. And we will fight for our freedom. Can still demonstrate. We are able to protest. But how long will that be? With the proposed Bill 59 on the table in Quebec, how long will it be before our voices are silenced? The head of the Quebec Human Rights Commission has been quoted saying that he will use his new powers to target people who would write against the Islamic religion on a website or on Facebook. This would set a very dangerous precedent. I say we need to fight to preserve our freedoms. And how does Pegida do this? How does Pegida do this? Without violence, without hate. We petition our government. We raise public awareness.
Call me whatever you want.
We actually fight against discrimination and hatred. Have a look at Islamic dominant countries where non-Muslims are treated as inferior. They are persecuted, humiliated, and murdered. That is what we fight against. We don't hate Muslims. We hate the ideology that keeps them chained and oppresses them. In our battle, we not only fight against Islamization, we also battle against the politically correct. The politically correct left. The people say that Islam is a religion of peace. The people who say it has nothing to do with Islam. We worry about the future of our country. We say no more mega mosques. We say no more hate preachers. Preachers right here in Toronto that say people must die if they speak against the Prophet Muhammad or Islam. We say no to Sharia law. We want our immigration policy safeguarded. We don't want a political party that adheres to the Quran. So that we worry because the majority of Western Muslims that are polled agree with what is written in the Quran, in Sharia law. We worry about the many that have joined Islamic State from our shores, from mosques in our land. We worry about the demand for open borders for refugees. Are we against helping war refugees? Of course not. But we are very worried about the potential of jihadi coming through. We worry about economic migrants. And we are extremely concerned about those genuine refugees that are getting lost in this migrant chaos. Pegida is concerned, so Pegida is doing something. We are not saying that all Muslims are terrorists, of course not. But we do know where terrorists find their inspiration. We know what the Quran says. We in Canada have experienced terror. We remember the two members of our armed forces, Patrice Fitzgibbon, gunned down in Quebec, and Corporal Nathan Cirillo, gunned down at the War Memorial in Ottawa last fall. And what about the many foiled attempts? Some we hear about, many we do not. We are confronted with issues about burqas, the latest being the dismissal of the appeal for a ban on face coverings and citizenship ceremonies. We are confronted with honor killings, female genital mutilation, and polygamy. We schools funded by Saudi Arabia. Property, businesses being bought up by Saudi Arabia. As of right now, 20,000 refugees from Islamic lands will be landing on our shores over the next 4 years. Will these numbers change? Will our country become another Europe? Will our government cave into the pressure of the bleeding heart left? On that note, will we even see the same government at the end of this year? Which candidate has Canada's best interest in mind? Think about it and vote appropriately. And yes, every vote counts. Let me clarify my stance on the immigration issue. Immigrants who obey Canadian laws and integrate into our culture are very welcome to stay. I dare say that the majority of us come from immigrant stock. Our country, Great. That was a great speech.
Is that how they operate?
Gus! Gus! Get over here! Peaceful demonstration.
Get over here. Who looks like they hate it? Yeah, I thought that freedom of expression still is the rule of the day, the law of the land.
Hitler loved Islam, and they're calling us Nazis.
Yeah, I know.
Stupid!
My phone's dead. Did you get the rest of it?
And apparently they're
My phone's dead. Did you
apparently
get the rest
they're
of it?
there.
Are you the person in charge of the Facebook page or no?
Right?
Okay. I'm the one who asked.
I'll bet you half of them don't even pay
I'll
tax.
send you pictures of this. We like network hours.
Half of them don't even know what's going on in Europe.
There we go.
What was your name again?